Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending on what time it is you are watching this edition of my build tutorials. And today you can see I am dressed like an X-Wing pilot, and that's because we're going to do an X-Wing. It's really exciting. I'm going to try and build you an X-Wing fighter, and we're going to go through it block by block. So really very excited about that. And to do it, it's actually really simple. So all you need is a block of quartz, a quartz slab, some light grey stained clay, some red stained clay, some glass, some glowstone, and maybe, I've not decided if I'm going to use it yet, some cyan wool. You can change the colour of the light grey stained clay and the red stained clay depending on the colour of the flash that you want on your X-Wing, but actually I'm going to go for these. You can do whatever colour you want, it's entirely up to you. So we're going to go up probably around about 50 blocks under the clouds, but quite a way up because we want to make sure we've got plenty of clearance on the X-Wing. So I will see you up there. See you in a minute. So the first thing we want to do using our quartz blocks is to build a 9x7 rectangle, but we want to make sure that the corners have been cut out, so it's not a rectangle, it's more like an oval shape. So there's 5 on the up and 7 on the across. So now we want to add 4 more of the rectangles on either side of the one you've already made, making a tube of 9 rectangles, which will start to form the body of our X-Wing. And the next stage is starting to put the wings on, and we want to go the bottom wing first. So we take a row of 4 quartz blocks at a slight diagonal away from the corner of the cutout that we've already made. We then want to place 3 light brown stained clays, followed by 1 more quartz block. And we're going to come out again 1 more, so 3 more light grey stained clay, but this time we're going to put in a red stained clay. This is going to be the start of our lovely red flash. Follow that up with 3 more white quartz blocks, and then 1 more row exactly the same as the last one, and we're really starting to create the first wing of our X-Wing fighter. The next stage is to repeat the platform we've just made out of those 3 different types of block exactly on top of it, so it is double thickness. 3 quartz, we want to put more quartz on top of the other quartz, and then once that's done we want to put some red stained clay and also some grey stained clay on top of the current red and grey stained clays. This has given us a nice sturdy build to our wing. The next stage is to come down a level, so on the bottom of those 2 levels that you've just made, make another row of exactly the same blocks that are already there. So 1 quartz, 3 light grey stained clay, 1 red stained clay, and 3 more quartz. And we're going to continue to make this stepping shape down because we want the wing to come away from the body in a diagonal shape. But with this row down, we don't want to continue with the light grey stained clay all the way along, so we want to narrow it in. So we're going to take 2 extra white blocks, and we're just going to have a single block of the light grey stained clay. We keep 1 block of the red stained clay, and all the rest stays as quartz. So we've continued down that stepping motion, keeping a single line of the light grey stained clay and a single line of the red stained clay until we get to about halfway down where we've put a big block of red, and this makes for a nice attractive flash on the wing of the X-Wing as it speeds through space. And then we duplicate that going upwards on the same side, so we have 1 downwards diagonal and 1 upwards diagonal, and that is then duplicated on the other side to make that classic X shape that we all know from the Star Wars films. So standing at the back of your X-Wing fighter, you are going to put one more row onto the back of the body. This is going to give just a little bit of separation between the back of the wings and where the back of the X-Wing will eventually end up. So now go to what would become the front of your X-Wing fighter, and what we want to do is we want to put in a number of rows to bring out the nose of the spaceship. Now the number of rows doesn't actually matter, but what you do need to do is when you've come out no more than 2 blocks, you want to start with a red flash on the side of the spaceship 2 blocks high, because an X-Wing fighter has a stripe that runs all the way down the inside of it. And when you've come out as far as you think you need to, you want to be bringing in the nose ever so slightly on the top and both the sides. So put a row of blocks inside the outer ring that you've just drawn, and make sure you follow that with the red and the white, so as when you look from the inside it looks like it's a consistent line. Then continue to come out away from the wings, but build on the inner row that you've just created, not the outer row. Make sure you keep along the line of the bottom, because at this point the X-Wing isn't getting any thinner on that bottom edge, but it will be getting thinner on the other 2 edges. Carry on coming out and make sure you come inwards ever so slightly as you do to create that long, sleek nose. Keep the red stripe going along the side and make sure you have red at the end of that nose to give its characteristic look. We're now going to try and round off the nose by using these quartz slabs, which gives it just a very slightly softer feel and takes away some of that flat edging. We've done it on the underside as well, and it creates like a dart shape that everybody recognises Luke Skywalker flying in the first Star Wars film. Every X-Wing needs a pilot, and every pilot needs a cockpit, so build a row of 11 slabs separated by 3 slabs that end just 1 block away from the very back of your X-Wing. That will give you the necessary shape for us to be able to build a comfortable cockpit for both the pilot and also the droid, which you can build at the back using that cyan wool that we were thinking about using right back at the beginning of this video. And we've got some passengers in the back of our X-Wing here, so we're going to really spoil their day and light the whole thing up. We're going to put a row of glowstone all the way around the inside of our X-Wing, just 1 block in from the very outer row. We're then going to take our light grey stained clay and put a ring around the very outer edge of the back of our X-Wing, covering up that part of the glowstone, but the light of the glowstone can still be seen because we are going to fill the rest of it in using glass. And at night time the back of that X-Wing is going to glow like a beacon from behind, as if it is on fire with the engines roaring. And speaking of engines, where your wing first starts to go up, build a cross shape that is hollow and comes out 5 or 6 blocks. Just inside the last block, put a nice block of glowstone and then finish it off with 1 more cross, and that forms a beautiful X-Wing engine that could power any spaceship through space. Duplicate that on all 4 wings, and there you have it. The engines are all set and ready to go. It's not an X-Wing fighter unless it's got some weapons, so at the tip of each of your 4 wings, bring, using some quartz slabs, some guns that come out the same amount of blocks on each side. I've used 15 blocks, but depending on the size of your spaceship, you can maybe use 12 or 20, whatever works for you. And there you have it, the completed X-Wing, all ready to take out the Empire and destroy as many TIE fighters as it can possibly find. Maybe using your X-Wing you could recreate a great battle using X-Wings and TIE fighters and goodness only knows what other ships out of Star Wars. I'll show you how to make a TIE fighter in the next video, so please do feel free to go and watch that for all the tips there. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button and do leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you thought of this and any other builds that I might have done for you. And if you really did enjoy it, it would be great for you to hit that subscribe button, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. Take it easy now. Bye.